and we are back with Katie McDonald and Amy Rose from BHS staff. So, ladies, you're on.
Great. So this isn't the most descriptive title, but the next hour we'll talk about a few different ways that you can find some success and level up after you've done some of the basics and just start having a little bit more fun. So we'll start going through that in a few do's and don'ts. So the first one I want to cover, we talked about it a little bit before, was setting standards and being consistent. You'll find that I'll probably say the word consistent and consistency a lot because it really does matter. And I think I even saw in the chat several people talk about just kind of making sure that both the frequency and the content and the tone just has kind of a level of consistency. That's not to mean it's all the same, but that means it all kind of makes sense together. And so we're talking about, using hashtags or things like that. Katie's put together a couple examples of ways that you might think about using hashtags to tie some posts together.
Yeah, so on Facebook, hashtags are, they're not as common, I will say. For BHS, Amy doesn't use them too often.
Oh, I do indeed.
Oh, you do indeed. Never mind. Never mind.
Then I don't use a lot, but I do use them. So if I want to go back and find, basically the idea is that if I want to go back and see everything that I posted, usually about COVID or people doing virtual things, all of those posts are tagged Everyone in Harmony at Home. So I can click on that tag and it pulls up all of my posts. And so I can, if I'm looking for something.
Yes, my bad. There we go. That and I saw with Lionsgate Chorus up with SAI, they did this whole video about Canada Day. So sorry if I said that incorrectly, but Canada Day with just a bunch of Canada hashtags. Just a great way to show off your personality too and who you are as a chorus. If you get into all of that, so yeah, using those hashtags to kind of establish like the themes and consistency. Yeah.
And also in the case of Lionsgate, it makes them findable. So if people are looking for that content around Canada Day, they've gone through and they've kind of pulled all of the common hashtags for that so that their video can get seen to a wider audience who might just be looking through things with that hashtag. Sweet. Don't neglect your channels or closely and visibly monitor every single time anyone breathes. So you don't need to reply to every single comment because that can feel a little stalkerish and it feels a little intense. So let people talk is what I like to say. Let the people talk. So on the BHS channels, I pay attention for sure. If people ask questions, we try to answer those quickly. But if people are talking about something, if we don't need to provide actual information, we might just let people talk. You'll also notice that every once in a while, there's maybe something mildly controversial that happens on Facebook. That happens on our channels. We don't delete every negative comment. We do kind of let people talk about things, and that's intentional. We don't love that people are having negative feelings about something, but people get to have feelings about something. So if we have taken the time to share something on Facebook, on our social channel, then we are saying, this is we're creating a place where a conversation can happen about it. We're going to watch it and we're going to make sure it stays within our kind of moderation guidelines and there's not swearing or there's not people being mean or there's not people making fun of each other, but people can have conflicting opinions and we might come in and say, hey, it feels like this might be better as a private conversation, or actually this thing isn't what is happening. It's actually this thing, and here's the link to more information, or things like that. So being heavy-handed and just allowing no dissent ever is kind of an equal and opposite problem to posting things and never looking at it again. Both convey kind of a sense of just not really being in tune with your audience. Katie, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
Nope, that was great.
Great. I know that Katie has things to add to this though. Model good online behavior. This basically boils down to be nice.
That's it, dude. That's it.
Yeah. If you're representing your quartet or your chorus or barbershop or an organization, like, be nice to people. You don't risk anything. Sometimes people are wrong on the internet. I don't know if you knew this, but sometimes people say things that are not correct, and it is okay. You don't have to invite yourself to every argument. This is good, like, life advice, but especially as you're representing a brand, just be a good citizen in the online world, because it's just better and it'll reap rewards. So here's a couple examples of how you can use your channel to elevate other people. I love these.
I know, me too. Okay, so guys, if you are looking for a course that does the sharing of videos and posts once a day, I swear, once a day, Great Northern Union. I need to meet this person who does their social. Amazing. I love, they have a ton of videos like this. They'll take a video from another barbershop group, say how wonderful they are, and share it on their page. And that's just so sweet and so kind. And it just really builds up all of the wonderful work that other groups are doing. Or it literally, a lot of it is BHS performance videos that are just shared. And like, you can absolutely, Amy, correct me if I'm wrong here, but you can absolutely share BHS performance videos because they're on YouTube. So since they're on YouTube, we have already covered the licensing and the copyright and stuff. So that part's really cool.
Yeah, anything on the BHS YouTube channel, you don't have to worry about copyright. You can share the link. We don't want you to download it and then share that. We want you to share our link from our page. One thing that GNU does too is you'll notice that they've also tagged Ravi there, because they've tied it back to say, this is how this song relates to us. This is how this group relates to us. This is a former member. So their posts not only share so much great content, but they always link back to why it matters to their group. They do a really, really good job of that.
Absolutely. And then GQ posted about Halo Quartet doing their Race and Real Talk sessions, which is just literally couldn't have come at a more important time in this world. And these women are so beautiful and so wonderful at everything they do. And it's these Race and Real Talks are a part of everything that we love to support and promote and share with our page. So we absolutely, it's support them. I've been to their sessions. They're absolutely incredible. So it's just, it's basically taking your platform and supporting your friends. Because the minute you don't look at your advancement in the competition singing world, you don't just look at yourself and you think, I'm just going to build everybody up. You will win. You will raise up and just do amazing things. So really modeling that behavior of showing that you support other people, other groups is huge. And also just modeling absolute kindness is just everything, and reminding people of your, why you do things and stuff. Just absolutely worth it.
Yeah, we all need to do great things and watch great things and be lifted up. So I love it. I love it. So following that, it's really easy, especially right now, to kind of choose negativity. And so that's our matching don't. There is, especially when you're representing a group, there is no sarcasm font. It doesn't exist. It may feel like you're, oh, I'm just talking with my friends, but I guarantee you there'll be someone who doesn't understand the joke, or, if you're so say there are two quartets, they're really close friends. So GQ and Instant Classic are really connected together, and they do a ton of stuff together. And if GQ starts kind of roasting and making inside jokes about Instant Classic will see it and think it's hilarious, but all of GQ's audience will react to it very differently. And it's either, why are they being so mean? Or, I don't feel invited to this. I don't understand what's going on. I love Instant Classic. Why would you say that about them? Or whatever, you know? So be really careful about inside jokes and sarcasm and things that could be perceived as negative, because it's really hard to convey that tone on your social media as an entity. You can kind of do it as a person, but even in commenting as your group, like you're never going to see the Barbershop Harmony Society kind of make a dig at someone in a comment or in a post. We might make a joke, but it won't be at their expense. It will be, we call that punching up. We're not ever going to make fun of someone who is coming up, or who we have more, if we have more power, perceived or otherwise, in that situation. We're not going to take advantage of that. And that's just, I mean, it's a good life rule, but it's especially important as a social media entity. So here are some examples that Katie pulled together of kind of difficult things, like if a quartet is sharing difficult news, or they want to also, or maybe manage something that is unexpected. So Katie, would you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to start with the one in the middle with Lemon Squeezy. So Lemon Squeezy recently has a new tenor. And that is something that's a big deal when you take a huge quartet, one of the most amazing tenors in the society, and he has stepped down from Lemon Squeezy. But I think the way the guys handled this of introducing Pontus to the world was just so beautiful and so kind. And in the post previous to this, they paid homage to Alex, and I think it was just so well done. It's just that, like, a really big theme of gratitude. And then to the right of this, the Windsor Quartet and Sweet Adelines, I think they're so for those of you who don't know, Windsor, just one of my favorite quartets ever. They decided to stop competing and stop being a quartet, and it was very, very sad. And I love how they went about this, though. Everything had a veil of gratitude. So them being thankful to everybody who helped them, who, Debbie Cleveland being their fifth member, and just, thank you for all your love and support, just because it hurts everybody else, it hurts. It's sad, when quartets retire, even unexpectedly, especially unexpectedly. So taking just a gratitude veil and putting that through everything, basically no negativity, use gratitude instead. And then GQ all the way on the left. So we wanted to let the world know that we were going to be competing in BHS in, what would that, well, the plan would be for Cleveland and everything, which is awesome. But we also found it very important to make sure that we still said that we were going to continue to compete in SAI. However, we did want to give BHS the kind of the focus of this post. So that's why we use the term of, we're so excited to be a part of multiple incredible organizations. So we gave BHS the post that we wanted it to be, because it was a big deal for us to officially say that we will be competing in BHS as well as Sweet Adeline. So I think that was something that, we definitely were very careful about. And, I think it was very well received. A lot of people were very relieved and very oh, good, you'll be in both. That's so cool. So definitely, again, no negativity, use gratitude instead. We are so excited to be a part of two organizations. Welcome, new quartet member. Thank you for all the time that you guys have given us as we retire out. We love you. Always, always, always keep those veils in there, and it'll be fun.
That's great. it can be tricky. There's news that can be challenging. There are developments with any group that are really challenging to navigate. So really using your social media to help you communicate those things can be really powerful. And it can give people a little bit of a window, and it's a way to say exactly what you want to say. You don't have to say everything. You don't have to spell out every single tiny detail, but it's an opportunity where you can craft the information that you want out in the world, even when things are difficult, even if the breakup is difficult, even if a retirement is not under the circumstances that everyone's happy about. That's okay. That can still be personal, and you can still communicate effectively without just kind of putting negativity out in the world. Cool. Fun stuff. Do experiment. Now more than ever, this is a great time for your groups to try something new, or try something that you wouldn't normally do, or maybe have time for, right? So there's a whole lot of examples we can give. Katie pulled these, and there are, I'm sure, more.
Yes, for sure. There's, I mean, just try stuff. Seriously, I love, I mean, everything that Newfangled, I literally watch everything that they do because they're hilarious, but their vlogs are gold. I know Perfect Fourth, Sweet Ads, Rising Star Quartet, they've done some vlogs too, and they're hilarious and wonderful. Don't Call Me Shirley doing a happy birthday video to Sweet Ads, like, of course. Or Don't Call Me Shirley and doing Ask Me Anything sessions and advertising about those. Ask Me Anything sessions, for those of you who don't know, it's literally a block of time where people can comment a bunch of questions to a quartet. Just so much fun. Those are really, really cool. Or just any sort of fun new projects that you're doing, like Newfangled down here on the bottom right with the Super Mario Bros. Medley. Oh gosh, I mean, After Hours and Cole Kitzmiller. Who else has done some amazing like quarantine videos? Newfangled, of course. Who?
Quorum.
Quorum.
Midtown.
Yes. Midtown. Yeah, they. I just love these groups so much for doing something, you know. So definitely just try it. As a chorus, some ideas that are just coming off my head again. The coolest moment of your rehearsal, and let's see, choruses. What could you do? Maybe like if you do like a trivia game, filming that and putting it up. Really just anything. It's right now it's kind of fair game because this is kind of the only platform we have at the moment. So absolutely do whatever you want.
You can also do non-video things, like having everyone go into their memorabilia stuff at their house and taking pictures of their collection. And then they send it to, you know, if your chorus of 20 people goes into their, or pulls out their oldest costume or whatever and takes a picture of them in it or something, you send all of those images to your social media person. That's, you know, 20 or so different posts that could happen. So you can make that into a series. And like on Wednesdays, it's way back Wednesday, and here's the costume that so-and-so wore in 1979, and look at all that velvet, or whatever it is, you know. Going through and taking images, or having people write about, you know, the first tag I ever sang, or having people share together. So you can actually introduce this as an activity in your Zoom rehearsal. Say, we're gonna have show and tell for 20 minutes, everyone, you know, bring something, or, you know, whatever. You can also think about crowdsourcing that content and having your members provide some content on a particular theme. Or you can get with your historian. Maybe, I know a lot of Sweet Adeline's choruses and harmony choruses have, you know, the historian who does the annual scrapbook. I don't know if BHS does that as much, but I'm sure some do. And have the scrapbook. Well, that person might have a whole lot of really great old photos and articles and clippings and all that. You can use those for social media content. So think about things that you might not normally share that could turn into some great posts. That's awesome. All right, so Katie is going to walk us through some, a little case study, some GQ lessons learned.
Yes.
So I'll let you walk through that.
Absolutely. So, friends, what we have realized as a quartet, and remember, this is the exact same thing as a chorus, really. These are the types of posts that have really, really worked for us. And by worked, I mean the most comments, the most likes, the most general engagement or general sense of frivolity and, oh, sweet, that one worked really well. So the number one thing that was a big surprise was our live stream rehearsals. And so how you can do that with a chorus is you can live stream a Zoom call to Facebook. Wow, what an amazing way for people to like just see how your chorus rehearsal is going, and then them say, hey, I want to stop in. I would make sure that it's a really good one. And, but yeah, that's absolutely worth doing. Quartet outings or just any sort of like cool, fun thing that you're doing. Everyone loves to see when people are doing something cool. And right now, if we're doing it in quarantine, make a joke about it. How, like, I don't know, Bob's mowing his lawn and Tina's cleaning her pool. I don't know, whatever. Just like make, what was it, Amy?
In their competition costume,
Yes, that. Absolutely do that. Anything that has to do with shows where it's kind of like either a reflection of a show weekend. And so here in COVID land, it could be a reflection of the amazing talk that Jim Hammer gave, or whatever for your chorus that you attended, or the virtual chapter visit you did. So some sort of reflection material. And then any sort of accomplishments. People love that. Anytime you have something really cool that happened to y'all, absolutely share it. It's totally, totally worth it. So
that adds a lot of personality too. I know that, Katie, that GQ highlights like when someone gets married, or when someone buys a house, or when someone, they're like those life milestones. And it's easier to do with a quartet because people know you as individuals, but those accomplishments are important. So if one of your members in your chorus receives an award, or graduates from college, or gets a big fancy job, or buys a boat, or does whatever, that's an exciting milestone. That is a thing you can kind of tie in to maybe a series that you do that has a hashtag, and that's something
Yeah, a member spotlight. Actually, Harmonic Collective at the beginning of quarantine did an excellent job with those. If you guys go back to Harmonic Collective and find all theirs, they're fantastic. They went through every member and they interviewed them, saying like, what performance got you into barbershop and why do you stay in barbershop? It was the most heartwarming thing in the world. Oh, okay. So that's for quartet updates. For personal posts, honestly, and there's a reason this is called personal posts. I mean, really just the more that people can feel like they're pulling back a curtain and seeing who you guys really are is going to be amazing. So yep, those life events, post birthdays, even in a chorus, post birthdays, that's fine. And with silly photos, do it. And basically post that, allow your audience to know you as humans. Truly, I mean, this is kind of us branding ourselves and advertising for people to come hang out with us, right? So we want to kind of show off that we are very loving, accepting, wonderful people, and thus that's going to get more humans to come hang out with you. So that's what GQ has learned in what posts are the most successful, for sure.
I love it so much. Switching gears slightly, I wanted to talk about, there are kind of some myths and misunderstandings about what to expect from your social media channels. So we wanted to walk through kind of the top three, and we'll also highlight a few things that it can do for you. But a lot of people enter into their social media channels with some expectations that aren't very realistic. And so we want to help you kind of align your expectations. So the first thing, social media does not deliver instant results. There's nothing in, even though social feels instant, the results are not. and you're playing a long game. Social media for your group is a mutual fund, and you're just putting your dollars and pennies into that jar, and don't look at it and don't worry about it too much. Don't empty the jar out and count your 13 cents every week. Just let it ride, and trust that over time you'll see results, but it's not going to be right away, and that is completely okay. Don't worry about it. Just keep going. Your goals at the beginning are to just build an audience and post and share good stuff. Don't worry about reach. Don't worry about traffic. Don't worry about likes and shares. Don't worry if you have a 30-member chorus and only 25 people share your stuff from the chorus page. Don't worry about it. It's really okay. It's great if your chorus members share the chorus page content, but you know, they're not going to share every single post, because then their personal page becomes like the chorus. So don't set the expectation that 100% participation is the only acceptable option. What I like to encourage people to do is say, hey, or what I tell staff members at BHS, it would be great if you would please follow the page, and if we post something that resonates with you, share it and add in your post how you feel about it or why it resonates with you. That's far more powerful and impactful than your members just automatically sharing every single thing you post, right? Share the thing that resonates, just like you do on your own personal social media. So all you got to worry about is just keep building that audience by consistency and just sharing things in a consistent way, and then just post and share good stuff, and you'll be in great shape. As an example, for the BHS channel, when I started in 2014, which seems like 1,000 years ago, we had about 10,000 likes on our Facebook page. And now in 2020, as of this week, we are over 33,000 likes, which is crazy and very exciting, but it didn't happen over time. I mean, so that's, you know, 23,000 likes, I guess, over a period of 6 years. You know, we're not relying on going viral, which we'll talk about it in a minute. We're not relying on instant success. We're just saying, okay, we're just going to create this channel. We're going to build our audience by posting good stuff and just let it ride. Okay. Social media can be completely free, but we had a great question at the end of the last session about ads. And I would say that Facebook and Instagram and social media advertising is the most inexpensive advertising you will ever buy. The return on investment of advertising on social is massive. You can spend $20 or $30 and hugely magnify a post that's promoting whatever you want it to promote. So I would say make small investments, but absolutely boost posts or create ads on Facebook. That you can Google a bunch of tutorials on how to do that, but it is totally worth the money to do it. I mean, Katie, I think you guys did that for some of your CDs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, we did Facebook target ads for our albums because we wanted to sell albums. Because, yep. Yeah, so if you're looking for, oh, we want more people to come to our rehearsal, then maybe once you've designed that beautiful flyer in Canva, advertising your join us rehearsal, join us at this rehearsal at this time, then that's the post you'd want to boost or just pay for. So figure out what your priority is and do it there.
It's awesome. And I'm talking like $10, $15, $20. And you can upgrade the visibility to thousands of people. You can also geo-target. So you can say, you know, I want to narrow it down to, you know, maybe you're in Illinois district, so it's like, I just want people who live in Illinois to see this, or whatever it is. You can narrow down that focus so that your dollars are going to the thing that impacts you. It's great. It's very wise. So, so boost your posts, just kind of pay attention to the things that work. If you have a specific post that you boosted and it did really well for a week and then that post was over, dang it, boost that baby again. Like get it out there. If it's being successful, like invest in those. If you have another ad that just kind of didn't really do much, redesign something else and take a different approach and try that, right? Double down on the things that work. Lastly, I cannot talk enough about quality photography. If you invest any money at all in your group that has to do with marketing, hire a photographer for a day. In the regular world, when we are not all isolated, this is the formula I recommend. Pick a day where it's not a show day, it's not a contest, it's not an activity day. It is a day. You have the whole chorus come to a location, you hire a photographer. This could be a professional photographer that someone has used before. It could be someone who is a photography student. It could be someone who has a connection in the chorus. I would preview their work to make sure that you like their style. Schedule a day with them, and then you meet up at a place and the chorus spends a couple hours just having their picture taken. So yes, it's the whole chorus, but then it's, okay, now everyone just kind of get in groups of 2 or 3 or 5 and just talk to each other. And then the photographer just gets some action shots. Maybe it's, you do a headshot for your director that isn't of them just sitting, you know, at a table at the afterglow, but you take some pictures of your director directing the chorus and you get some beautiful action shots because the photographer can get right up in there and isn't disrupting a performance, or you're not relying on an event photography. You can get all sorts of angles. You can break up the chorus into small groups. You can do family photo style where you have like steps and levels and all sorts of things. You can really partner with a great photographer to create a year's worth of, and maybe even more than that, a year's worth of great images that you can use for all of your marketing. You might want to do a couple different costume changes. You want to say, okay, bring our fancy contest outfit, and then also let's also wear like that casual show outfit that we really like, that everyone feels good, and wear that. And we'll take some pictures in that. So you have dressy photos and you have casual photos. And then maybe you have everyone in street clothes and then they shoot some black and whites of you guys just kind of hanging out together, right? It's only a couple hours. No one is focused on doing 1,000 other things. It is actually really fun. It's a time where the chorus can just hang out together, and it's a great, great, great investment. So when we return to being able to do those things, I highly, highly encourage you to make that investment because it will really provide you with so many assets. Preach. All right. Here's the deal about going viral. You can't create a viral video. Viral videos occur, they are not created, because that's what going viral is. It's its own entity. So there's no such thing as, hey, let's sit down and create a viral video. You can hope, but that's about how it works. So
yeah,
a little,
you don't choose, like we don't choose that. Like as the content creators, we don't choose that. So
the world decides, right? So here's my little tale of woe. So you might think, Amy, what has been the top VHS posts ever on your Facebook channel? Is it an iconic photo that is like captures a convention from the stage and everyone looks amazing? Probably. Is it like an announcement of like a game-changing decision that has huge lasting influences? Maybe.
Maybe.
Is it a thrilling performance video? Is it a moment that people still talk about decades later?
And cry about?
Yeah, the answer is no. It is this meme that I did not create, have anything to do with, is not about barbershop, is not about anything remotely VHS, and is just a funny meme that I shared one day. And it has gotten 21,000 shares from just our page. And it makes me so sad.
Guys, this is all she complained about when we were collaborating. This is it.
So you
She's
can
like,
put,
how?
as you would imagine, I put a lot of time and energy into the content on the BHS page. It is my mission to create great photography and witty posts and exciting things to share. And this is the thing that is our most shared post of ever. And so you have to, and that's the thing that went viral. So you can't plan it. You never know. And you have to roll with it. Now, did this get us some followers? I sure hope so. But you never know. You never know. So that will be my eternal sadness that my creativity and brilliance has not been recognized worldwide. But there will
Also the power of memes, guys. Memes are great.
Memes,
They're funny.
I tell you. So Katie, you can probably tell a little bit of a similar story.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. So this video where I'm looking like an idiot because I bumped into the fan behind me. I don't know why I chose that screen frame, but anyway, this video of GQ did go viral completely accidentally and a year after it was posted, which was so strange because it's just been chilling. But somebody, I don't know who, put it on Reddit, and that's how this video got so high up in the view count, and now we're at 6.8 million, which is ridiculous. And million.
And you're on what, Katie? You're like in a classroom singing for a coach or something, and
we are actually at the Heart of Carolina chorus rehearsal, and that's like one of the weird auxiliary church rooms that they rehearse in, and we were singing to the guys on the risers. Heart of Carolina, I think at the time they were like, I don't know, 25, 30 dudes, and Matt Gorman took that video for us, and he's the one who posted it. So it's his video, and it's just so, because we are like, as you can see, we did not dress for this. We are just chilling. Oh, and this was my favorite part when it got on Reddit, and it would, we're like, I think we're in our like mid 20s here, but a lot of people would come up with really weird clickbait titles that said, 4 high school girls get up in front of the classroom and what you hear next will blow your mind. I don't even know, they were stupid, but like we had no control over that other than we laughed a lot. And so again, had no clue. This was just a video that we feel that we sang really well because we had just recorded our first album where we recorded in isolation booths. And our theory is, well, this is one of the first times we got to hear all of ourselves together. So I think that's just what really brought the magic. And I guess other people liked it. So that was really cool. And then the other screenshot that I have is of us about to do a live stream rehearsal back in February. So we're really lucky to have gotten that in. We just thought, like, we truly had no idea that many people would be watching. And so we had a ton of people watch, a ton of shares, lots of comments, almost 6 million, sorry, wow, let's hear 6,000 views just on Facebook of us poorly singing through songs. So maybe that's why people were like, oh, look at them being awful. That's probably what it was. But it's to our complete surprise, we realized, oh my God, that's a really good social media format. Then COVID hit, so we can't do that for now. But the things that work will surprise you, and that's exactly why Amy was talking earlier about experiment, because how do you know until you try? So try stuff. Totally do that.
Great. And your 6 million, almost 7 now, my goodness, views is also an example of it was hanging out for a year before it went viral. So it only takes a couple people posting in a particular way for something to take off. So again, you're playing the long game. You're just putting it out there, putting it out there, putting it out there. Cool. That is our our last section on that. If you have questions about that content, about other things that we talked about in the first hour, things that we can provide more detail about, throw those in the chat, and we'd be happy to answer questions and deep dive.
Yes. Throw them in the chat, friends, or raise your hand. Man, we were that good, Amy?
I know, we solved all the problems, everybody.
Probably. That's what I'm known for.
I love Bill's statement that you're right, there is no box to check on Facebook for please go viral. If only there were, that would make my job so much easier. Be amazing. Oh, great.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt here. Bill Slander, back early part of the 7 o'clock hour, asked a note, not really a question, but a goal for my attendance. My chapter course is doing a virtual show in December, and I want to find ways to get more eyeballs on the show beyond just the Facebook event type post. And he already took very well to your ideas about target ads on Facebook. So would you answer that a little more completely? Thank you.
Well, and thank you, David. I think that's what I would say is look at doing some targeted ads in your area. Think about using other things like Meetup, like another social media channel, reaching out to groups in your area, maybe with a short email campaign about, hey, we have this virtual performance coming up. Here's the link. Here's how to participate with us. If you reach into your connections.
Yeah, maybe even your district leadership. To be honest, off the top of my head, that was just me like brainstorming. I'm not sure who that contact would be, like whose job, but there's probably somebody, maybe a marketing person that can help you kind of disperse that info to your district. But also, hey, it's virtual. Guess what? The world could see it, which is really cool. And to be honest, friends, this is from a personal standpoint now for the Parkside shows. Now, granted, that was in person, but I don't think it's any different. We had a specific Facebook event, not a flyer, not a whatever. Well, we did have flyers, but what I'm talking about is a Facebook event where where Facebook will remind you if you have said yes attending, no attending, or maybe. And honestly, that is how I got humans to the Parkside show. Because again, that's where our people are. Do a physical Facebook event and have your entire membership personally invite people, and do not do the whole thing where it's like invite all friends list, because then people will hate you. Like someone who doesn't like barbershop or not a singer has no interest in this. Do not do that. You have to target those people so that it actually feels genuine. So, like I went through my whole friend group and I was like, barbershopper, music nerd, friend from high school who I was in band with, singer, actor, barbershopper. That's what you want to do. So don't invite the whole friends list, but that is especially helpful. Absolutely do the whole Facebook event thing. And to be honest, again, free, yay, totally worth it. And you can also use the Canva show flyer as your the photo for the event. So that's definitely worth it.
Yeah. And I would say also you can use the Facebook event as the thing that you run the ad with. So you can boost those events and things, just because there are a few different things you can do. But I would definitely invest some money on, especially around events like that. One thing too is to find some things to post about that aren't just the show information, but that are tangential. So if you have a guest artist, write about them. You can see this person on our show, and include the show information, or a video of a maybe another barbershop group did one of the songs that you're going to do, and that video is on the BHS page. So great, grab that link. Here's a proof of X group, and we're so excited to be presenting on our virtual show. Join us at da 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 da. So you're not just saying, come to our show, come to our show, come to our show, but you're saying why, and you're diversifying your content. So it's not just the same message over and over and over again.
Yes, for sure. We have a question in the chat. Diane wants to know, what things can we try to encourage members who do not attend our virtual rehearsals to attend? What can you do?
Yeah.
It's really endless, but if your current members, so again, this is slightly not the not social media as much, but I'm here, so hi. So the thing is if people came to your Zoom calls and stopped, there's got to be some sort of a reason. So what I would really suggest, maybe the director or whoever has the best connection with any of the members who have left and stopped going to Zoom rehearsals, reach out and ask why. It could be not anything that you're doing. You could be throwing an awesome virtual rehearsal, but they are struggling through COVID. Everybody's lives changed. Everybody's. Some people are financially struggling, some people are mentally struggling, and some people can't even bring themselves to do another thing virtually right now, or they get severe Zoom fatigue because they're working. So instead of like, what can we do to bring more people here, there's a bajillion things you can do to up your virtual rehearsal game, but you do have to find out why people aren't going. And the only way you can do that is ask. And another, you can absolutely do pulse check forms, which I can, that was from my recruitment and retention class. I can share that with you guys as well. It's just you just create a Google form that asks people, because some people also don't like to talk, directly to people. They're maybe a little more introverted, or they don't want to give their name. So this pulse check form allows everything to be completely anonymous. And some feedback is better than none, right? So that's nice. But really, but otherwise, so once you have found out, and if someone's like, I don't like rehearsals, they're boring, cool, now you know what to work on. Then you can take all of the amazing ideas that have already happened in this chat and working with virtual chapter visits and beefing up your rehearsals, then hopefully some people will come back. So definitely worth investigating before revamping everything, because you just don't know.
That's great. Paul asked a question specifically about targeting ads and targeting interests. You can do that. Sometimes I find that the geographical in a normal world is more useful for like actual shows and things that are events. But if you use broad interest things like singing or like a cappella is a good one, you can use those also for your ad targeting, because right now proximity isn't the main driver anymore. So you might be able to pull in people who have a similar interest. For BHS ads, we often will do a cappella, because that will grab, if you do barbershop, sometimes that's too small. And so you still want to have a wide enough net to get people into, but singing, a cappella, those kind of things are still broad enough that they can be effective. When you're scheduling the ad, you can kind of click those things on and off and see what the reach is and make your decision based on kind of the number of people that's going to hit too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Jesse had a really great question. So my course wouldn't be interested in learning about Canva, but I certainly would. Go, Jesse, good job. There might be a couple of others, but not many. Do you think I could get a somewhat private session with Journey? So the answer is absolutely. So what's awesome about these virtual chapter visits, I've done some of them, and it's been like 3 or 4 board members of a chapter, and that's it. And to be honest, no, I don't want to say it, but I kind of love it, because we literally just had a conversation and talked back and forth because of the small amount of people. So absolutely, yes. We don't mind if there's 3 or 100 people on the call. It's going to be the same content. But absolutely, Jesse, do that. do it.
Well, and
Yes.
one thing you could do as a follow-up is you could connect with everyone here and say,
Mhm.
hey, is there a group of us that want to schedule, or a small group that wants to schedule a bit of a hands-on tutorial,
Yeah.
band together and do something like that. Or you can decide to keep it small if you want a little bit more of a one-on-one. So if you go, if you look on barbershop.org, or if you look for virtual chapter visits, I think if
I
any of
already
you are
linked it.
Oh my God, Katie. So go to that link and you can submit a request, it's such a great service, and you'll see the whole menu of things that are options.
Yeah, and Jesse, that's so good. That's so smart to say we'll try to put together a group from the district. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm assuming there's a marketing director or a marketing VP or something per chapter. Y'all could get every NED marketing person, something like that. Even membership at this point, membership directors, and that's so sorry, I'm butchering all the titles, but anybody that has to do with engagement and bringing people in, or the image, totally worth it. Totally worth it.
We do have, excuse me, in Northeastern District, we do have a VP of Marketing and Public Relations, and Jesse might think about contacting Steve Salomon to get that involved too.
There we
yeah.
go. Guys, great minds.
Let's see, I was looking back through, Bill mentioned expectations around level of engagement. And it kind of depends on where you're starting. One thing, so if you haven't been utilizing your social channels very much, kind of living and dying by the number of likes is a quick road to sadness. So my recommendation would be to not worry about engagement for a while and just look at your content. So sharing good stuff consistently, and then don't look at it for a couple months. Like, check for comments and stuff, but don't sweat it for a while. And figure out that regular rhythm. Maybe it's twice a week, maybe it's twice a month, whatever that is. And once you start posting with some consistency, I guarantee you that you're gonna just see that engagement go up. But you have to kind of let it alone for a little bit and not get discouraged. Because I can tell you, even on the BHS channels, there are posts I know deep in my soul that will be of huge interest, and they'll get like 2 likes on them, and it's mystifying to me. And then there's something else that I think people won't care about, and it goes crazy. So it's helpful to disengage from the performance of each individual post and instead watch the number of likes on your channel and let that be kind of a marker. Because if you're posting good content consistently that people like and share, then people will like your page because they want to see more of that stuff. So use that over weeks, just kind of gauge your progress, and don't worry too much about intense engagement, especially for a smaller following or a newer channel, or if you're revamping things.
So there's another question from Anthony. Any thoughts on how to work a Chorus Facebook account in conjunction with a Chorus website to make both be most effective? Amy, do you know like the official answer to this? I know that it exists, but that's because on GQ's website, I know we do link all our socials to show up on the website. I don't know how it works, but
I am not in charge of that, but
yeah.
that is a thing you can do. So you can do an embed of your social feeds in your website if you want to have that presence show there. We do that on the BHS site as well. If you're talking about alignment, I would consider kind of giving them some visual relationship to each other, so that your Facebook header or your go back and forth between one to the other, they know they're in the right place. If you're talking about using one to drive traffic to the other, it'll usually go the other way, where you're using maybe your Facebook page or your social media channels to drive to some content on your website. And so, yeah, Exactly. That's Jesse's saying. So really the social is more often pointing to your website for the deeper dive information. You might consider also if you have a crew or several people that really enjoy writing, you might think about adding a blog to your website that you could then use to create your own social media content. You can also do like create a blog for your website and say it's a guest blog and feature, you know, BHS blog content or whatever, and just credit whoever you're repurposing that from, and connecting them that way so that you have a place on your website and then you can post that to your social media. So then when they click on the link on social media, it drives them back into your website and they might find something interesting there. So just kind of getting those things to refer back to each other, I think it's the most powerful, and giving them some sort of visual synergy. They don't need to match, but it's nice if they look similar so people know that it's still you.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, let's see. We have, Joel asked, is there any discussion on a more granular subject like Canva or maybe a virtual membership drive? I really, everybody look at that virtual chapter visit and look at the topics and get creative. Like just because Journey's, Journey technically, her thing says making a show poster / promos in Canva. Well, yeah. You can absolutely add any wording you want to go for the membership drive. And then my virtual chapter visits focus solely on recruitment and retention. And the presentation that I have is completely COVID veiled. And I actually did that presentation 2 weeks ago with y'all. So if you're Dave, if you're talking, I can do, but if your chapter is looking for that, definitely reach out and have us come over and chat about that. And another thing that I just linked, it's at the bottom of the chat right now. This is for any chapters that are kind of maybe looking for a little more of an incentive to recruit brand new members or members that has had their membership lapse back 2019 and before. You can join the BHS for half off right now, which is really awesome if you're trying to recruit brand new people, because let's be honest, they are not getting an in-person experience. So, so to kind of thank them for joining at this very odd time, that's something that's going on right now and absolutely worth it. And we're also doing the person of note referral bonuses as well. So that was in Livewire last week. Just wanted to plug that because that's definitely a hot topic for the just how we can help our members and new singers out during this very weird time.
That's great. A quick answer, Bill, about the scheduling Facebook posts. The most cohesive platforms are something like Hootsuite and something that's designed to do that. Facebook also finally created the option where you can schedule posts within Facebook if you create the post within Facebook. So instead of publish, you can hit schedule. And so you can do those. Those are one at a time, but oh my gosh, I practically wept in my office the day that I saw that show up. So you can definitely do that within Facebook as well. I don't schedule things native in the platform. I use Hootsuite for all of our scheduling. So I don't recall if you can, I might be making this up, but I think if you schedule it in Facebook, you can also designate if you want it to post to your linked Instagram account. I think I might be dreaming that up, but I think there is some synergy there, or there should be. But yeah, look around in there.
I think I'm going to interrupt here. We are at the 9 o'clock hour. We want to end up on time. I want to say to Joel Maxwell about asking about a virtual membership drive. I would encourage you to look at the recording that we made of our session 2 weeks ago with Katie, because she talked a great deal about virtual membership and how to attract more people. And I thought that from the comments that really had a nice impact on that very thing. So you might look at that first recording from 2 weeks ago. So thank you, ladies. This has been terrific. And I want to thank everyone who's been part of this. And any closing comments from either one or both?
Oh gosh, just thank you so much for being here and for caring about social media and wanting to just kind of explore opportunities. We can, we're not hard to find. You can look in the back of your harmonizer if you want to reach out to Katie or I. If you have further questions, lean into those chapter visits. If you don't see something there that suits and you want to ask about something else, you want to utilize that email address for Nate Ogg, and he can help match you up if you have other topics. But we're just so excited to have so many people here.
Katie?
Absolutely. Oh, same. And I adore you all. And just keep singing.
Well, thank you everyone again for coming. As they say at the end of all the afterglows, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. But in this case, you're already home, so you just have to say bye. So everybody, good night and good luck.